What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to discuss how to import a Chinese device. It costs a lot of money and you're putting your faith in an organization or company that you've never used before. You also, a lot of the time, have to pay by PayPal or your bank and do a transfer. It's quite daunting. I am here to tell you the 3 key steps you have to consider before hitting the purchase button. I have had 20 to 30 devices imported from China over the last 3 years, so I think I'm well placed to give you some advice. Let's go. Now, the first part, and definitely the most fun part, is choosing your device. Which device do you want to buy? Here's a few examples. The Xiaomi Mix Fold 3, one of the best foldable devices on the planet. The Honor Magic V2, the thinnest and lightest foldable device on the planet. A phone I have on me right now, the Xiaomi 13 Ultra. In my opinion, the best Android candy bar style phone ever made. Or perhaps you want to go down the Samsung Z Fold 5 route or the iPhone 14 Pro Max. It's up to you, obviously, to make your choice. So that's step 1. Pick the device that best suits your needs. You have to consider ecosystem, you have to consider the hardware versus the software, which comes first or which takes priority for you. Now, once you've done all that, you're then able to move on to step 2. So step 2 when importing a device is choosing the ROM. I know, you're thinking, what the hell is the ROM? The read-only memory, the software that is installed on the device. So there's 4 ROMs, if you like, or 4 variants of the ROM that you have to consider. Now, the first ones, and definitely the most straightforward, is going to be your global or EU ROM. That is phones like the Google Pixel Fold, the Samsung Z Fold 5, iPhones. All of those are going to come with global ROMs or EU European ROMs, which essentially means your phone works as normal, as if you bought it from the Apple Store or Samsung Store in the UK or in the US. Those I don't need to go into too much detail about. However, they are going to be more expensive on Chinese import websites than perhaps a Chinese ROM device. And we'll get into different websites at step 3 and where to buy. So we've covered global and EU ROM. They work like any device, doesn't need any more detail. The 2 that need some more explaining is your Chinese ROMs. Now, a Chinese ROM device is set aside for phones that are not getting a global release. The Xiaomi 13 Ultra actually did get a global release, even though nobody really bought it, which is a shame. But you can get a global ROM version of this phone. Phones that you can't get global ROMs for at this current moment: Xiaomi Mix Fold 3, any Vivo X Fold 2 device, the Honor Magic V2, the Find N2, the Vivo Flip. Essentially, there's a lot. But what all those phones have in common, apart from Honor and Huawei, is they are Chinese ROMs with the Google Play Store installed, with Google mobile services available. So again, getting into the weeds a wee bit more here, but it's important we do this because, again, folks, this is your hard-earned cash. You have to be 100% sure you're making the right decision. So with the Chinese ROM versions with Google mobile services, you're going to get the full Google Play Store, and it's going to work 99% like a normal global Android device. However, there are a couple of key differences. 1, Chinese ROM devices are set up to be battery efficient to the maximum. You will have to go through every app that you want notifications for, which is most, and turn the battery settings to no restrictions. Make sure the app's on auto start so the notifications come through. It's going to take you about an hour or two to delete all the Chinese bloatware, to change all the app settings. However, once you've done that, the savings you can get on a global ROM versus a Chinese ROM are fantastic. The Xiaomi Mix Fold 3 and the Honor Magic V2 are two of the best foldable phones. In my opinion, hardware-wise, they absolutely pee all over the Z Fold 5, yet you can get them for £500 or $500 cheaper than the Samsung Z Fold 5. It just means you have to spend some time setting it up. Now, once you've set it up, there's one thing across all these Chinese ROMs that will not work. So if this particular feature is a deal breaker for you, I'm going to flash up red sirens here. This is super important. Android Auto will not work on a Chinese ROM device. XDA forums have a workaround to root the phone and to install it with a patch that sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't. I've imported over 20 phones. I have never done this, but I don't need Android Auto. It's not a deal breaker. If it's a deal breaker for you, you have to go then think, do I do the root of the phone, follow the instructions on XDA, or do I not bother with a Chinese ROM and stick with a global ROM device? Pay a bit more of a premium. Now, the final ROM variant we talked about was specifically for the Honor Magic V2 and the Huawei whatever device you get. Huawei within the last 5 years have not been able to use Google services or 5G. So they have the latest and greatest chips, but they're restricted to no 5G. That's going to be the case for Huawei until they battle out in the courts. What that means for you, the end consumer, is you will not get the Google Play Store. You cannot get the Google Play Store no matter what you do. Yes, this is true. On a Huawei device and the Honor Magic V2, you will have to use a virtual Play Store through apps such as Gbox and Gspace. If you're in Malaysia or Singapore, I believe there's another app called Lighthouse. But what that means is you download these apps, you log in virtually to your Google Play Store using your Google account, and then you can download apps and add them to the home screen. When you click on an app, it works like an Apple shortcut. There's a few second delay, and then it'll eventually open up the app. For me, having owned the Huawei Mate X3, one of the best foldable phones I've ever owned hardware-wise, the software was just too much of a pain. You couldn't get Google location sharing on it either. You obviously couldn't get Android Auto. There was just few too many quirks for me that just didn't work. So that wasn't a viable option for me. However, if you can find yourself a really good deal on a Huawei device which have fantastic cameras, some of the best cameras on the planet, then make that choice. Is it the one for you? And that's what's important about all these things I'm talking about. It's your choice. It has to fit your use case. So, step 2, we've covered the 4 ROMs. Watch this back to get, the detail in your head and make sure so you've already picked your device. Now you need to pick your ROM. If you've done those 2 things, you can move on to the final step, step 3, and that's where to buy. I just want to take a second before we move to step 3 to say thank you all for the support. I have 23 channel members now, which is just mind-blowing. We're almost at 7.5k subscribers. I want to thank you all. If you are watching this video and you found it useful and you think you might like my content, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell icon to be notified for any more videos such as this. I am one of the only, if not the only, UK-based English-speaking tech reviewer that reviews foldable phones all the way from China at all times. I have had, as I've mentioned a few times now, numerous devices over the past 12 months. I think we're at about 8 different foldable phones. So if you like this, you know what to do. Back to step 3. So step 3 is buying your device. You've picked it. You know the ROM you want to go for. Now, where can you buy it? Luckily for you, there are lots of places to actually buy it. And I know it's daunting. The first time I ever imported a device, I went on Trustpilot, I went on Google Reviews, and there was loads that were saying great service, but there's always that odd one that's saying it's a scam, don't trust. I can now honestly sit here and tell you there are 5 Chinese import websites that I have used on more than one occasion, and they all work, but they've got slight differences, and I'm going to talk about that now. One thing I have to mention is WONDA Mobile is my favourite. However, it's also the one that I have an affiliate link for. You can find that in the description. I know you might not believe me, but I'm going to be as honest as possible. When I say WONDA's my favourite, trust me it is. And if you buy through the WONDA link, I get $10. That's it. That's my only skin in the game. I get $10 for every purchase. I have no affiliation with the other ones. However, I'm going to be entirely honest. So, as mentioned, WONDA Mobile is a fantastic service that do a couple of things for you. One, they cover the tax. So your duties to the UK, Europe or US, they're all covered in the cost of the device. I have got way too many GOOGLE devices on the desk at the moment because they all just turned on when I said that word. So the Play Store can't be added to those devices. But for the phones that can, WONDA will do it for you. They unseal the device very carefully, they install the Play Store, and then they ship it out to you. So when you turn on your device, you just have to set up your own face and fingerprint, but the phone is good to go. Now, another website that do this is Gizstop. However, I've ordered from Gizstop 4 or 5 times, and on one of those occasions, I had to pay tax and duties. I don't know if that was just an error admin on their side, but on the others, I didn't. The one thing I will say, and I want you to do your own research, Gizstop are always slightly more expensive than WONDA Mobile. There's 3 more that I want to mention. However, all 3 of these I more often than not get charged duties, and that's Blue Diode, Trading Shenzhen, and Trinity Electronics. Now you can Google all these, make sure you do when you've selected your device, and compare all prices. The other key thing for WONDA Mobile compared to every other one is the delivery timescales. When I order a device from WONDA Mobile, it's typically, weirdly, on a Sunday night. I'm bored, I'm ready to buy something. By that Thursday of the same week, so that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 working days have passed, I always get the device on a Thursday. And it's coming from Hong Kong. That's mind-blowing to me, the fact that I can get the device just a few working days later. With the other websites, your delivery times may vary. Gizstop can be 5 working days, but I've heard horror stories of 6 weeks. Trading Shenzhen and Trinity Electronics and Blue Diode are never 5 working days or less. They are 10 to 15 working days. So if you're impatient like me, WONDA Mobile are the ones to buy from. All 5 I'm mentioning though, and this is a really important part, so again, flashing sirens, these can all be trusted. They are legitimate sites. There might be other ones, but I've not used any other ones. So, pick your device, pick your ROM, pick where you're going to buy it from, and enjoy. Once you've done all that, you can check my channel out. I've done numerous setup videos, and that talks you through step by step how to set up a Chinese ROM device that has the Google Play Store installed already or doesn't. If you buy one that doesn't have it installed already, or if you reset your device by mistake, or you want to reset your device, I'll talk you through how to set it up step by step to make it look like any other normal Android device. Again, if you found this useful, smash the like button. Appreciate you spending your time with me. And if you are one of the die-hard fans that have watched to this point in the video, I want you to comment down below bricks. No idea why I said bricks. I can see bricks out my window. Okay, I'm rabbiting. Until next time.